Hey everyone, so it is Wednesday evening. I got home from work a little bit early, so I'm actually, let me show you what I'm doing. Everybody needs to toughen up, so since it's evening, there's still, I'd say, I think it's like 5:30, so maybe like a few more hours of daylight, and it's kind of overcast, so it's like cloudy. Sun's covered by clouds. So I'm gonna bring these out tonight. It's supposed to get to be, I think, like 42, 43 degrees tonight. They'll be fine in that temperature. They've spent the night in the greenhouse in that temperature with the windows open and everything, so I'm not worried about them. So let me tell you what my plan is for these guys to acclimate them. I'm actually going to try something different. Something I've never done before, because I don't want to haul them back in here, back in, just because of too much sun damage. Now, if it by chance happens that the temperature is going to drop below 35 degrees again, I don't think it will. I hope it won't. I will be bringing them back in here. What I'm planning on doing is I'm going to leave them out tomorrow. Probably around noon, I'm going to cover them with some shade cloth for the rest of the day. And then the next day, I'll leave them probably till like, depending on how much sun. If it's cloudy, I'll leave them out a little bit longer. If it's like full sun, just a couple more hours than the day before. But usually it takes me maybe 4 days to get them. I usually don't have this many that I'm carrying in and out. But because I have so many, I'm not going to be doing that. I'm going to be trying the shade cloth thing. And I figure it's like 70% shade cloth, so it's going to cover the sun quite a bit. But right now what I'm doing is, since now I have all this space, I'm bringing everything else that's in the basement out here. Because it's peppers, I will be shutting the windows and the door and turning the heater on and making sure it stays above 50 degrees in here, because although some say it's kind of a myth that peppers get stunted, I do find that they do enjoy the heat. So I want to keep them happy, because I don't have any backups. All my peppers are all my peppers. So that's the plan for now. But first I'm going to water everything I just took out there, because some of the stuff did look a little dry. Oh my gosh, they're just growing so fast. They want in the soil. I may start planting Sunday. On Monday, remember those tomato plants I planted? On Monday night, it did get to be, we did get a frost. Possibly, well, I mean, my window when I woke up to go to work on Monday morning had ice on it. So I was going to go look at them on Monday night, but I was really tired Monday and Tuesday from all the weekend work. And just looking at the steps that I have to go down and then having to climb back up them, I was just like, nah, I'll just wait. All right, so it's Thursday morning. The night after it dropped down to, I think, 40 degrees, or it felt like 40. I think it was 42 degrees, actually. I noticed last night, and I was too tired to do it, that some of my micros are covered in aphids. So you see all those little white things, and then the red, those are the larger aphids. The white ones are baby aphids. So I just got done hosing down all my micros, because I definitely don't want my micros to infest my lovely peppers. I'm not starting those over again, but I just sprayed with some neem oil and dish soap and just a tad bit of copper spray too, since the copper is like a fungicide, so in case there's any like disease issues trying to happen, I just went ahead and put like a little bit of that into. I had my sprayer all ready to go, so I just had to add the stuff into it. So I sprayed them down. Did this morning, and I'll probably do maybe another application tonight, and hopefully that'll take care of the problem. But I got these guys out here last night, and look at all these babies popping up. So these are the squash that I started. Got Topolina. Oh, no, these are the sunflowers that are popping up. Skyscraper. We've got a mammoth popping up out of there. There's another mammoth. So I'm super excited. So I have a real issue. Sorry, I'm a bit of a mess. Okay. So I have a real issue with sunflowers actually being able to grow them because of squirrels, birds, something decapitates them. Even when I start them from seed like I have, and then I plant them. Like if I try to direct sow them in the ground, they never even develop because I think squirrels dig them up and steal them and take them somewhere else or eat them. But if I start them from seed, even last year, so I tried last year, just started a bunch from seed and planted them up, even then they would still come, I don't know if it was a bird or squirrel, chipmunk, would pull them up out of the ground, decapitate the top off of them. So what I'm doing this year is I went on Amazon. I'll throw a picture up of what I just bought. I bought, I think, a set of 12 snakes, rubber snakes. And wherever I plant because I want a mammoth sunflower. I want one of them, and I've never been able to get one to actually get to the point of being mammoth. And so where I plant my mammoths or my skyscraper ones, there's going to be a snake. And I might even get some more snakes to put near where I put all my beans and my gourds, because that's another thing that the dang chipmunks like to eat. For whatever reason, the gourds, they just pull gourds up out. It's like sunflowers and gourds. They're just like, you ain't growing those. And just every single year. So let's see how they like coming up on where I planted my sunflowers and seeing a snake. So I'm gonna try that. See if that works. Gardening is all about experimenting, trying what others have tried. Sometimes it works for people, sometimes it doesn't. So we'll give it a go. Everybody out here did just fine in that 40 degrees. They're still looking happy, so it's overcast. I don't know how much the sun will be out today, but if it does come out, I'm only gonna let these guys have maybe a couple of hours, and then I'll cover it with the shade cloths that I have. So Ben is here.
Trying not to step on stuff.
Yeah, trying not to murder the asparagus again.
I
I think you're doing a great job. The strawberries will grow back. It's fine. But yeah, my walkway's getting done. Woohoo! I won't have to like maneuver around and fall down a lot like
just
I did last year.
Just in time for the bed to fall apart.
Shut up. I'm not gonna put that in there. The bed looks fine. The bed's not gonna fall apart. What are you talking about? That bed's falling apart.
Yeah.
But it's fine. It's fine. For a minute, it's fine. So it's pretty early in the morning, and I'm not going to be able to get a whole lot done today, so I'm trying, because we're going out of town, so I'm trying to do a couple of things for a couple of hours, but I just had to show you guys this. So I'm up-potting some of the last of the peppers and the last of the tomatoes that I restarted seeds for, ones that didn't germinate very well. I don't think I showed you guys this, or maybe I did. In my basement grow room tour, but I had one weirdo and only one germinate of Martian glance, and I'll show a picture of what it looked like before, but I really did not think that this was going to make it, because if you don't have, like, if a tomato plant does this where it gets this weird center stem, it'll just shoot up this weird looking, I don't know, it looks like a little spoon in the middle of it. And then it won't do anything. But looky there, he shot up his first set of true leaves. I'm so excited. So I just up-potted him. Let's hope this little guy makes it into the garden, because he's my last seed. So way to go, little buddy. Ooh, and I want to take you to the kitchen and show you one more thing, because I'm going to up-pot those two. So, I had someone send me their own cross. this is getting up potted. This is electric Eli. So that's going to be it for what I'm starting in here. So I'm actually probably going to just take this apart and put the top back on it. And then over here, these are the last of what I put in here. So I had someone very kindly, very sweetly send me Bill Yoder's new line. So she sent me Shake the Disease, Precious, Behind the Wheel, Strange Love, Everything Counts in Large Amounts, and Suffer Well. So the minute I got these, I stuck them in here because I wanted the best chance of them germinating. And I got one of each except for Everything Counts in Large Amounts, which is right here. So I'm going to be up potting these guys. A couple of them got a little leggy because I didn't have this pushed down all the way, but I just wanted to show you that these are going to be added to my garden. Yay! Good morning, guys. It's early in the morning and we're getting ready to head out to go to an all-you-can-eat pancake breakfast our daughter invited us to. Normally I don't eat breakfast, but I'll make an exception when it's an invite from my daughter. But I just wanted to show you what I was doing before I headed out the door. And COVID's interested too. So I'm going to be planting up my beans today. So I've got them all in little, well, tomorrow. I'm getting them prepped today, but tomorrow, or maybe tonight, I don't know. I want them soaking, so I probably want to soak them overnight, but I've got them in Ziploc baggies. I'm going to add water. I've got the tags ready for them. I'm just going to stick the tags in the baggie with the water, but I've got, you know, Sunset Runner pole bean, Ayoti Morodo bean. They're so pretty. I got a black garbanzo bush bean. I think I need to pick out some more bush beans. I don't think I picked out enough. This packet of seeds I got from Seeds for Generations. Red noodle pole bean, royal burgundy. I don't have very many of those, so I might combine them with another bean on the same trellis. Painted pony. Look how pretty that one is. Christmas lima bean. I grew this last year, so this was what I saved last year, but I want more. So these are ones I'm planting, and then somebody just gifted me these First Lady Northern Southern Pea cow peas, so I'm going to be doing those too. I need to find out, are these a bush or a pole? I'm going to have to look it up. Is it bush or pole bean? And then, not just that, but I'm soaking my gourds over here. So I've got like long-handled dipper gourd and also Tennessee dancing gourd. The little ones are the Tennessee dancing. African drum. I've only got 2 of those left. And then I've got a bushel, couple of those. And then I just put water right into these baggies. These were trade. And these were from Forgotten Heirlooms. And then I've got Jacob's Cattle, bush bean, Belay, and Martin House gourd. I only have 1 Martin House gourd. The damn squirrels kept messing with my Martin House gourd. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do to combat that. Also got the Mayflower pole bean and Good Mother Stallard. So that should be good with beans. Okay, bottom bed, long bed. I am planting in the middle where there's a gap between the cattle panels, Gaillardia Double Sunset. I am putting some Zanzibar, which is the green, in the front of the Kazula Jocelyn bed, and some opal basil in the back. Okay, everyone, I'm out here planting up my beans. So this, where am I at? So this is that bottom bed that it's at the biggest slant, I guess you could say. And a lot of the rocks they're still kind of leveling themselves off. But I did amend it, and I put down a real thick layer of some more garden soil mixed with a big bunch of mushroom compost. So I think it'll be okay for beans. I possibly might put okra in here again because it's got such a a way that it can grow up without blocking any of my tomatoes, really. I might do the okra. I'm growing motherland okra again, just motherland, because I want to save seeds for it, because I only had one plant that survived last year, and it only gave me, I don't know, 3, maybe 4 pods full of seeds. So I'd really like to have a whole bunch more. So I planted a bunch of that. And so what I think I might do is in between because these are all bush beans, in between the bush beans, I think I might put an okra plant. And then over here where I just have some volunteer snapdragons, I might plant some more okras. And I'm not going to plant them in a row. I think I'm going to plant like 1, 2, 3, like put like a couple, maybe 3 rows, like plant them pretty densely so that I hope that I have a bunch more than last year. But what I'm doing with the beans, I know you can hardly see them, but I'm laying them out and then I put them in. So they're all laid out. There's the darker ones there, but they've been soaking for 24 hours now. And so this is where the last of my bush beans will go. I think that's a good amount of bush beans, but I'm growing these to save the beans for. So I have lots of beans to plant again next year and then eat them. But this year I'm going to try, I might take a couple, but I'd really like to have dried beans to make my own bean soup. I wanted to try to make my own like 12 bean soup or something. So that's what I'm doing now. And I'm also putting down my pole beans on the trellises. And once I get them planted up and labeled, I'm going to come down and mulch on top of those. It's supposed to be pretty hot this week. So it's supposed to be pretty hot this week. So I want to make sure I try to keep the soil from drying out. Sunny and hot. I think it might rain Tuesday. So it's Sunday right now. I guess I didn't show you what I did yesterday because I was just really trying to bust it out while it was damp. But I have planted the entire bottom row of tomatoes. And I've actually started planting a few of the dwarves in the pots. So all of those are going to get mulched. So there's the 5 that survived the 30-degree temps. I don't know if this area here has like a microclimate because it's like in a dip. Like there's trees on this side and then it's got a hill. So maybe this area here stays, you know, a little warmer. I don't know, but they survived 30 degrees. My car windows were frozen solid. So I was very surprised that they survived. I actually did replant seahorse though. You can see that was the better one. And I just didn't want to fuss waiting for that other one to do something. So I just replanted it. So that's the only one I had to replant. But it was already lost its leaves before that frost. And it did look like it was trying to survive. But I didn't want to bother with it. So I was like, I have another one. I'm just going to replant it. Anything else I want to show you right now? I am going to just fill up that bed with pumpkins. I saved a bunch of fun looking pumpkins last year and I'm just going to randomly put the seeds. I have huge bagfuls of them, so I'm going to plant like a ton and then I'll thin them out. But I'm planning on moving this fence over out of the way because last year they tried to climb up the hill and we're having trouble because right there is a whole bunch of nasty, like they're not raspberry bushes or raspberry plants, but they're berry plants, but I don't think they're edible and they're thorny and gross and I need to get them off that hill because they just keep spreading. So I'm going to be digging those up and getting rid of those. And because you see there is a gourd, it's still hanging there. I need to get it off of there. But yeah, so that's the plan for that hill, but one thing at a time. Got to get my garden planted, got to get my tomatoes mulched before the heat today. Because it's going to be, I think, 85 degrees. Hot. The sun is about to come out. It's cloudy now, which I'm grateful for, but it's going to get hot, and I need to try to get as much as I can done while it's cool. Okay, so somebody is using their chainsaw right now, but okay, they stopped real quick. Do you see that snake right there? So I'm trying to use snakes to deter, where's my finger? Oh my gosh, it's so blurry. Right there. Okay, so I'm trying to use these to deter birds and chipmunks and stuff. A bird literally just landed on the corner of that piece of wood and sat right beside that. Ugh. So now what? Ooh-wee, everyone. It is 4 o'clock, and I've been out here since 8 o'clock, busting my butt to try to get this garden planted up. I still have a bunch to do, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it all. But let me tell you what I have done. So I believe this is, correct me if I'm wrong and you know what this is. I think I planted my cup plant right here last year, and it didn't do a whole lot. I'm hoping that's what that is. I hope it's not a weed that I'm like, you know, mulching and got my snakes everywhere, but I don't really know if they're going to do anything because, like, I just showed a clip of it. I think a bird just landed right next to this green one. Just sat there right beside it, like, did not care. But maybe it's not the birds that I need to scare away. Maybe it's the chipmunks. So give it a shot and see what happens. It's all I can do. But what I've done is I have used my wood chip mulch and really thickly around the base mulched all of the tomatoes in all 3 of these beds, as well as very lightly mulched the beans that I placed here. So the tomatoes have like a real thick layer, and then the beans I just like lightly covered in the hopes that the beans can still push their way out of the wood chips. I hope that I did not do something that I'm going to regret there. I don't think so. I feel like beans are strong little buggers and push their way through stuff. So after I did all that, I watered everything because it is hot today, and I just feel like I didn't get it mulched quickly enough to retain the moisture that was in the soil, so I wanted to replenish a little bit of it. And I gotta tell you, they looked a little sad, but the second I watered them, like I would go up and get another load of wood chips, and by the time I came back down, they were like very happy. So I think they just needed a drink. But I left the places that I haven't planted anything blank, and then lightly covered everything that I did plant stuff. So I've like got my scarlet runner pole bean there. There's my prairie sun rudbeckia coming back. I planted, this isn't a garden tour, I'm not going to tell you all the stuff I planted right now. I'll do a garden tour maybe next weekend. But I dotted some flowers in the corners. Again, mulched. I need to mulch my snapdragons there, but just mulched and watered everything. So all the blank spots, they'll get planted up fairly soon. Did a couple of the dwarves. I got my Bill Yoder 1999 beautiful ones. What's the other one? They're in the pots there. And then I lightly covered all the beans that I placed. I think I showed a clip of me. And I'm just leaving those baggies with a rock on them so I can differentiate until I get like a stick or something, or maybe a board. I don't know, because I want to have them separated so I know when I go to save seeds what's what, because I had that issue last year. One, because I didn't even put tags in. Silly me. But, okay, so that's done. And this is where I think I'm going to plant my okra. Oh, I gotta get my wheelbarrow. I need not to forget that. So, I need to plant up this one still. It's kind of a pain in the butt to scooch the mulch out of the way and then plant, but I gotta tell you, the soil underneath of this thick wood chip is so luscious, so full of worms. The wood chips have so much mycelium in it. It's incredible. I think I threw up a short showing you all when I scrape away the top layer, the underneath layer is already breaking down full of mycelium. It's incredible. I still haven't planted this row. It's the same thing. I kind of avoided the ones where I had to push away the wood chips. I did some of these. I did this whole row and mulched and planted some basils and I think some flowers. This, I have them all laid out. I'm going to try to get this one done tonight because I don't want them sitting in this hot sun in pots. As you can see, this one here is already suffering. It looks wilted. If I don't, I'm going to gather them back up and then water them real good. And I'll just have to redo this. And I did this bed completely. Planted some of the winter sown carrots that I still had in the containers. And then there's some basils down there. And I planted all of this bed as well with the tomatoes and watered it really well. I think that's everything I've done. I didn't plant any peppers today. Didn't get around to that. Didn't plant any dwarves. Didn't get around to that. So, but I'm gonna go in and get a popsicle, maybe 3, and try to cool myself down because it is hot. I'm sweaty. Whew. There's my yummy, yummy fertilizer. I need to remember to take that in if I do not end up doing any more tonight. All right, guys, I don't know if I will be coming back on here again. So if not, I hope you all enjoy your day. Bye.